Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. It is a Saturday, and if my calculations are correct, since I also enjoy high school football, which in my neck of the woods starts August the 19th, we are 104 days from the start of football. Of course, that's high school football. College football will start the following weekend when we have week number 0. And of course, there'll be a few games that weekend, but nothing spectacular, nothing major. So I figured since it's a Saturday and we are almost within 100 days of the start of football season, today I would do another schedule preview. And I sit back and thought about and pondered about and wondered about which team I was going to do next. And then I decided on this team. And I'll tell you the reason why I decided on this team is because a good buddy of mine at work named Chris is a big fan of this team. And for some odd reason, he thinks that as a Clemson fan, I'm scared of this team. But I'm not, because to me, this team is one of the most, if not the most, overhyped team in college football every year. This year will be no different. People are already talking about them maybe winning their half of the ACC and maybe a close playoff team and a top 10 team. All that's wrong. Every bit of that's wrong. So today, if you have not figured it out by now, we're going to be talking about the Miami Hurricanes. Now, they're going to open up the season with all 4 of their non-conference games back to back to back to back. And then they'll have their bye week in week 5. And then after their bye week, from weeks 6 through 13, they're going to play their 8 conference games in a row. 3 of their 4 non-conference games won't be a competition, a contest at all. We're talking about Bethune-Cookman, Southern Miss, and then in week 4 they play Middle Tennessee State, which, by the way, there is a high schooler from my neck of the woods who went to high school the same place I went to high school that'll be playing this year for Middle Tennessee State. So watch out for him when they are on TV. But in between Southern Miss and Middle Tennessee State, in week number 3, it's the game that I'm calling the game of overhyped, because it's Miami and Texas A&M. 2 programs that every year supposedly their recruiting is so good, and every year supposedly this is the year they get back on track, and both programs go about 8-4. And the good thing about Miami, in my opinion, is at least they did get rid of the turnover chain. That was about the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. So thank God it's gone now. But Miami and Texas A&M both every year, in my opinion, especially Miami now with a brand new head coach who, by the way, can't coach. But it's time for them to either poop or get off the toilet, because every year they're supposed to be so good and they're not. And I don't think Mario Cristobal is going to make that much of a difference. Now, they will give him more time than they give all their other coaches because he's an alum. But sooner or later, eventually they'll figure out he might have went to school there, but just like Scott Frost, just because you go to school somewhere don't mean you can coach. The man's a clown. The man's a joke. But they will lose to Texas A&M. And then after their bye week, when they kick off conference play, their first conference game will be North Carolina. Then they'll play Virginia Tech. And then Duke, Virginia, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Clemson, and rounding out the regular season against Pittsburgh. Now, of course, Pittsburgh has a brand new quarterback, and of course their best receiver just transferred, so they've got to find a receiver to take his place. But Duke, by the way, has won the ACC Coastal since Miami joined the ACC. And Miami is supposed to be so great and powerful, but yet Duke has won the ACC Coastal as many times as Miami has. But anyway, enough about picking on Miami. They will beat Virginia Tech and Duke and Virginia and Florida State and Georgia Tech. They will lose to Clemson. And like I said, they're also going to lose to Texas A&M. And then between North Carolina and Pittsburgh, they will lose one of those two, and they will win one of those two. So I've got them going 6-2 in the ACC, 9-3 overall, which is about what they do every year, despite all the hype they get. That's about what they do. And I am a big fan of Tyler Van Dyke, but Miami's one of those teams that somehow, some way, they just always find different ways to lose games. Not different ways to win games, different ways to lose games. I've never seen a team that can find as many ways to lose a football game as Miami does, and that's why I've got them going 9-3, because I think A&M and North Carolina and Clemson and Pittsburgh, I think all four of those games are going to be close, and I do think between North Carolina and Pittsburgh, they'll find a way to win one of them, but they'll lose the other one, and I think Clemson's just better, and I think the overhyped Texas A&M is just better. So Miami 6-2 in the ACC, 9-3 overall is my prediction. Any thoughts on this? Please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. I wanted to go on a diet, but I feel like I have too much on my plate right now. And that wraps it up for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.